y'all come at me like that? You feel me? So sometimes you gotta sit back, think about the whole situation. If you need to apologize, that's what you need to be reassessing and how you gonna approach your apology. And then sometimes if you can't find that you need to apologize, you need to figure out how you need to express your feelings with the right tone. Check your tone. Check how you coming at that person and who this person is. How much heat can they take? Cause some over, and some people you just gotta talk sweet to them. And like I take like 5, 15 minutes. I can't stand when people keep asking me what's wrong, knowing they messed up. Now I'm about to get this work, but most of the time you just take some time, breathe for a minute, don't let it fester. If you let it go all the way till night till you sleep, you gonna wake up with some bitter problems. So you just best to stop for a minute, reassess it. You might have to text. No, I don't text message nothing. I'm gonna call you, or I'm gonna pull up, and then I think it's best to do it face to face. I think that when addressing a problem, because a text message can easily be read out of context.
So it's like very necessary to think before you react because you don't know how that
You
reaction
can't
will
take
be.
nothing back once it's out there. Not everybody feel how they supposed to feel because you said what you said and they said what they said. But I need at least 3 business days.
And I just want to
need 3 business
piggyback
days.
off of Kevin, that knowing like what you want to say and all of that, that is very important because if I call that like emotional reaction. So if you act right when something make you mad, you're gonna make a mistake that's gonna be permanent. This reaction, this emotion that you have is temporary. So taking that 24-hour or a little, I take 24 hours depending on the situation. But taking that little bit of time and thinking about what you saying can really help you or make or break the relationship, even if that person did make you mad.
I read this book some years ago, and it helped me a lot with my frustrations and my angers because I wouldn't necessarily respond directly, but I would react. And so it's this thing called raising the bar. You got breathe, acknowledge, respond. The difference between responding and reacting is the thought. A lot of people, when they reacting off of this person just pissed me off. I'm about to go get them. Not thinking about I need to process and acknowledge what is happening right now before I do something that will screw me over, and I end up messing myself over. Not necessarily that they mess me over, not to mess myself over. So, breathing, acknowledging, and responding versus reacting, then acknowledging, then you finally breathe once you decide to up here and tore everything up.
And that's important for the people under us too, because when we say, the elders come to address something, chastise us, or say something, and we quick to respond, that's what we mean. You basically responded at that moment, and your wrong is you just reacted. That's not you thinking about it. That's not you assessing a change or nothing. If you so quick to snap back, that's just you talking back, pretty much. That's all you really doing. So you really want to work on your response to situations instead of acting off your emotions and how you feel at that moment.
And no one wants to talk to an angry child. Nobody wants. If you upset now, I'm just not coming back. I have nothing else to say to you now. And that's sometimes how people are. That little girl decided to put her and tried to jump down my throat. I'm not talking to her no more. I'm not messing with her. And they have the right to because you didn't receive them well. So if you don't receive them well now, you're not gonna receive them well then and later. And that's sometimes how people take that.
What are 3 important characteristics for a healthy relationship?
Relationship we talking.
Oh, yeah, trust is definitely a big one. That's like a forefront. If you don't have no trust in your relationship,
Throw it away.
I
Throw it
ain't-
away.
Yeah, if y'all ain't, especially if you ain't married, don't waste your life on something you can't trust it.
I just
know what I'm
don't
saying?
trust him no more.
Yeah, once my man's cheated the 7th time,
7.
and you questioned him about the 8th time, and he might have been telling the truth. If you can't trust him, you ain't gonna find no peace, no love in that relationship. Communication is a big one. Communication is a big one.
Healthy communication.
huge.
Yes.
Healthy communication.
Healthy communication, not that toxic stuff. Like you got it off your chest and you said what you said and you walked off. Like
That
no, y'all.
emotional reacting do not work.
Yeah,
No.
you definitely got to sit down. Like I might have to pull you to the side when I'm at my happiest moment and say, "Yo, the other day, this bothered me that you did this, or you responded to something I didn't like it the way you responded. And then that's how you go forward from that. You know what I'm saying? The third one?
Understanding.
Yeah, gotta be understanding for sure. I don't know my
Forgiving.
third one. Forgiving, for
Because
sure.
somebody, at some point, somebody gonna say something that's gonna get your feathers ruffled. And it might not even be like that, but you took it like that. So you gotta be able to forgive that person for what they did say, what they didn't say, what they did do, what they didn't do, what they should have said but forgot to. So being forgiving, because a lot of people just ain't gonna forgive.
And
that.
compromise.
Yes.
Compromise.
Compromise. You cannot be one-sided. You cannot be selfish in a relationship. It will not work out. If you always think about you, how you like the bathroom, how you want the kitchen set up, where you want your
I
food
like
sit
my
at.
chicken seasoned like this.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, I don't like you wearing that outfit. You too big. You too skinny. The kids get on my nerves. You do something about it. If it's always about you and you ain't serving your family, if you ain't, if y'all just dating, wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? Both ways. Wrap it up. Get out of there. It's done.
Do you have a go-to song that lifts your spirits when you're down?
Lift my
couple of
spirit. Lift my spirit. I'm not gonna say I got a song, but worship is for sure something that lifts my spirit. And I would say because me loving on God is God still loving on me. So that's just like me loving on myself. Love can uplift you. So that's just any worship song that I have on my phone is what uplifts my spirit.
I got two songs. Don't nothing get me together than when CJ sang "I Can't Turn Back." I be feeling that. CJ be going to work, and there is a bomb. Bomb and Gilly. That's my song. Right? I be singing. You hear
my
me?
Lord.
Singing.
Same.
I thought I could sing. You know what I'm saying? Then I recorded it, played it back. It was not working out. I love that song though.
I know for one, I actually got two of them, but the one that I really like the most is called "He Has His Hands on You" by Marvin Sapp. That was definitely like my story for a long time, and then like I play that thing. I be sitting there like, he sees the tears. I'm like, man, that junk, like you really sometimes you be crying a secret. You gotta have that right song to fit you. Like you be like, man, Lord, I know you looking. Like I know you got something for me, but it's just right now I need you expedited. Like come on.
I got Jesus, we love you. That part when it say our affections, our devotions, pour it out on the feet of Jesus. The fact that our we can be affectionate in relationships that we can see, but to have an affection, a loving relationship with God, somebody that you would never see because of how good he is and how merciful he is and how pure he is, to have that affection for God and to be devoted enough to him. So when our affections fail us, our devotions that we've already given to God through our prayer, our fasting, our turning down things, our intimate moments with God, the fact that we can, have all those things when some things stop working out for us, and then, we can lay it at the feet of God, and that he's there for us. So like that song, that stuff takes me in.
My song is "Ordinary Just Won't Do" by Commission, and the reason why I say them is because like they explain how God love is extraordinary. It's like beyond than anybody else love. So it's like when I'm feeling down, all I need is love. That's all I need to lift me up. So I feel like that song as well help lift my spirit back up.
I don't know if I'm the only Travis Green support, but he got a song called "Just Want You." I went through a patch in my life one year where I was losing stuff. Like it was just like, Lord, what I do? Are you mad at me? And it just made the song pretty much just says, just take everything. I don't want it. I just want you. And it got to a point to where I didn't have nothing left but God. So that song, it'll break you down too. So it has some tissue nearby.
One more time. One more song. Happily Changed by Kev Mandel on Spotify, Apple Music, on all platforms.
Yes,
You got to
sir.
check that out. That's my song right there.
Yes, sir.
That one get you right. Listen to that. Yes. I was gonna say okay, because Brittany did kind of help me with the lyrics part, so I can say the song that have helped me through the pandemic the whole time is called "Promises" by Maverick City, and there's a part where the lady say, no, not singing. she says, I still bless you even when I don't know which way to go. And that sticks out to me because I have learned that I have to stay with Jesus even in God, even when stuff is not good. So through this whole time, it just been me and that song and remembering that I still need to bless God and thank God for everything that I do have, and instead of the things that I don't have or the things that are happening, but just be thankful for what's going on for me right now.
Name a person or story in the Bible that you can relate to.
I'll tell you who my role model was. Jesus was a boss in the Bible, okay? Everything I read about him said, well, when I wasn't right, it said gangster at first. But now, Jesus was a boss. You could not mess with him in the Bible. He talked to you like you got to have some sense because they talked to him crazy. You feel me? Question everything he did. They don't want to rock with him. He do something good. They got something smart to say.
He
like,
put a man's ear on. They still killed him.
You feel me? He put people in his place, though. You know what I'm saying? When he walked on the water, hey, you don't want to come out here, G.
I relate to the woman that was seen working in the field, and then the man saw her, and he wanted her. Cause I feel like I'm experiencing that right now.
Yeah.
So I relate to her, cause I like to mind my own business. You in my business don't do that. I like to mind my business. So once I find myself mainly when I'm doing things that I would regularly do, I'm minding my own business. I'm not into nobody else's stuff. I'm not seeing nobody. I'm just focused on what I'm doing. I found out that once I'm engaged in what I'm doing, people take notice of that. I'm just in my own element. I'm in my own world. And people, they cling to that, and then they want to kind of, well, what is she doing? Who is that? And I'm not one of those outgoing people. I'm not interested in meeting anybody. I might be talkative right now. That's because talking bothers me. But I'm a very shy person, and I like to stay to myself. But because of where God has taken me, I can't always be that. But I like to be to myself, so I relate to the woman that was seen working.
I think I kind of relate to David a little bit because when I especially like drums I just say it all the time. Drums saved my life long time ago. Every day it saves my life because it makes me choose to be into the church rather than to go out and do other things. But every time I hear something about David as a musician, they always say that there's that one musician that can take you somewhere in like spiritually just from off of their playing. It's just pure, and when I play, it's real pure. I might look flashy to y'all, but when I'm over there, I jump around, whatever I'm feeling at that, I'm gonna do it. I'll dance out of my suit. I don't care. I'll leave them drums alone. I'll knock them, whatever. But I'm telling you, I don't care. But I always hear about how David played and things happen, and I've been told a few times where I would play and they would say, man, I felt something when you played because I feel it's pure. So that's me.
Yeah, it's something about you standing up, banging them drums, two-handed. That get me every time.
Like bam, bam.
How has your faith increased during the pandemic?
So just like everybody, like probably everybody in here, everybody was unemployed to a certain extent through this pandemic, and my faith has grown because through the entire thing, yes, I've had my issues, but I have not went without at all. Like not at all. I mean, not even a little bit. And I can say my faith have grown. Well, that's like material way, but like with just me and God. I had experienced something this summer that I feel like I experienced it before, never that intense, but I've experienced it before. But God had allowed me to go through it and allow somebody else to let me know that I let you go through that because I do see you and I want you to know don't go back that way. So my faith grew that in God by just trusting him and knowing that he see me and that he hear me, because I definitely struggle with that in this. We got a big church, and you always see people getting prophesied to and people hearing about these unaffected checks. And I always kind of, if God ain't do that for me, he not doing nothing at all. And so it took for this to show me that I've blessed you the whole entire way and up until now. And that is why, you know, you're surrounded by these people. That's why these people are calling your name. That's why, not because you got the unexpected check or you prophesied to be able to do these things. It's because I've been with you the whole time, and I'm showing you that now. So through the materialistically, I have learned that God have been there for me, and my faith have grown, and I don't worry about the thing. Like, I just live my life, God gonna do it.
I'm not gonna say my faith has grown, but it didn't take for the pandemic for it to grow. It was challenged, and it was for me to figure out if I was gonna stay the course or go off course. So with this pandemic, it has definitely forced me to see God differently, see my walk with him differently.
What has been the most challenging things about your personal walk with God?
For me, it was making time. I ain't gonna lie. For a while, I had to learn how to make time for God, especially during this pandemic, because I was always trying to find something to do to pass time along. I'm like, you can't go nowhere. There's nothing open. I can't go hoop like I wanted to. I can't get in the church and practice the way I want to. That's my happy places. So now I got to find out, let me find something else to do. I don't want to be on my phone all day. And so I think that was the most challenging thing, was to kind of make time. Well, I ain't gonna say the most challenging, but it was a challenge for me, because when I get out, when I'm gone from the house, I'm gone. I'm not coming back until later that night or whatever. I'm always finding something to do, needed somewhere, taking somebody somewhere, doing something. So making time was a challenge for me.
I would say the most challenging part for me in my walk with God is definitely knowing that my walk with God is more than just coming here on Wednesday and Sunday. I learned that fast. You learn that fast. Once you get involved here, like you praying and all of that here is not going to fix those long-term problems and stuff like that are happen when you're not here. So that was probably the biggest part, just learning that God is more than just Sunday and Wednesday.
Since this is the To Be Honest panel, and y'all in my business, don't do that. Don't be in my business. But mine was, at first, I was doing good. I was a babe when I got to this church. I was like maybe 13 when I got here. So I've been here literally. The church has seen me grow from being a teenager all the way up into my adulthood. I'll be 24 come next year, come the top of next year. And so with my walk, I've never had to waver between like who I was as a person. I've always been solid in who I knew I was and who God knew I was. But I did struggle for a while with sex. That was one of my strongholds that I had dealt with, and I'll be good for a while and then it'll come back. And then I had to finally deal with the fact that there were some areas I lacked as far as intimacy. When people have sex, it's not because, oh, I just need it. They're lacking something. There's something behind it. Whether they were molested as a child, and sometimes people that are molested, it's so traumatic to the point where they bury it, to the point where it's almost like it didn't happen. And that was something that I experienced, where something that did happen as a child was so traumatic that I buried it, and I never thought about it again until I started to get a little bit older, and God started to deal with me about that thing. And so dealing with that, God had to show me the things that I buried. And so the things that I thought that I was just always, that's sometimes the church will say, oh, you in sex and this is that and the third, you in sin and all this stuff, and it don't even be that. It be something way deeper than just the surface. And so God had to deal with me about that.
Thank you very much. This will be our last question for the panel. What types of responses do you give to problems, issues, or situations involving others? Would you fight, flight, or freeze? The fight would be, would you fight until you come to a conclusion or resolution? Would your flight be to just leave the situation? Or would you freeze to just take whatever comes your way?
I would say it depends
on the situation?
I'm flight. I'm not freezing for nothing. I might acknowledge it in that moment, like, dang, like this really just happened. But I'm gonna flight.
Fight for me. I always take everything the harder way. Like I gotta get through it all until I feel like it's resolved. If I don't, it bother me all through my sleep and everything, depending on the situation.
I'm gonna go with fight, cause I mean it ain't gotta be physical, but I need to resolve this right away. And if I can't resolve it, then it'll be a flight, and then you can expect it to be continued at the end of that.
Come back. All the ones that you be jumping on, come back. You gotta come back. So that's why I say not fight, because it's gonna come back around. You're gonna have to fight it or let it beat you up.
Yeah.
I would not like to be beat up. Thank you.
I would say fight as well.
Yeah. Fight to a default.
Yeah, if something not worth fighting for, we're done here. It's time for me to go. We're done here.
Yeah, if it's not worth it, skedaddle.
But I take choosing to be done with something as fighting. That's a resolution to a situation. So just running away from it is what I mean. Like, you get into it with somebody and you just shut down, don't say nothing, or you ignore them. That's what I mean by like flight. But even just you having a conversation, like I'm done with this and I'm done with you, that's fighting. That's a resolution to a situation. Okay, so definitely forgot that he said it was our last question, but we do want to thank each and every one of you for watching our To Be Honest panel. We thank you for the question. And meet us back tomorrow at 11 a.m. We will be up here, and 5 p.m. We'll be here on live, and we have a couple special speakers for both the morning and the night, so y'all want to stay tuned in for that.
Share this video. Share it.
Share this video.
Like, share.
Invite
that.
people, a lot of people.
Yes.
Feel free to come in.
Oh, and we have we're going to the Sandbox on Miller Road VR for all young adults
At 5 o'clock today.
at 5 o'clock till 7, I believe. $35 a head. We got it for 2 hours. Come hang out.
Come out and have some good,
Yes.
clean, wholesome fun
Come.
on this Saturday.
You can ask us questions there too.
Can.
That's the end.